6. Tina is in a private plane. She has never flown anywhere, let alone in coach class, but she feels more posh than ever, sitting in a mega comfortable chair. She has had no reason to fly anywhere, let alone leave the city for anything other than a family visit. If she drinks anything, she would probably be seeing if she could get a fancy glass, let alone some liquor that cost more than she could have spent in a week. These days, of course, she drank only a certain drink, so she could look at the fancy liquor, but couldn't touch it. Her change from a donut shop job, not so long ago, truly makes her life different than before. Dealing with people coming in drunk, wanting a couple of donuts, and a cup of coffee to make it home, is so much different than what she does now. Now, she is in a private plane owned by a rich woman who owned companies, plural. She has a job making crazy money, and it isn't even a stressful one. Other than the werewolves who really press her on rare occasions. She didn't plan on it, but getting herself turned into a vampire has changed her life, what is left of it, for the better. She doesn't remember much of her transformation, how it happened, but she knows her creator is no longer available to get some pointers. There was some, on-the-job training, that she couldn't have gotten anywhere else, and then next thing you know, she is in an operating room, removing bone from a werewolf, under the watchful eyes of some of the most intimidating beings she'd probably ever know, and to her being a vampire means little. She is better for it, but that night was terrifying. So, she has a couple of things she needs to work on. One is how to get a vampire's body to be ready for, and how to attach another arm to their body. Zant had her arm ripped off in combat, and she wants to show her gratitude, but there is a bunch to it. Vampires don't just regrow arms by using blood. That would be so much more simple. 2. She also needs to find out, in theory, how to increase or decrease the sensitivity in someone's body, setting their nerves on fire when under any pressure, or in their case, the opposite. The victim is safe, but the enemy has her in continuous torture every time she is awake, even though they are out of the picture. Pressure on her back against a table makes her flinch. Suspending her in water, she tells them, feels worse. In water, every nerve around her body lights up like a decorative neighbor's house. The patient is currently under the care of her blood family, staked so that she can feel no pain. The blood power that is used to manipulate someone's body is within Tina, one of the more rare blood powers among the organization. An inheritance from her creator, it is among a nasty set of vampiric powers that a certain organization has, that does not play well with others. A couple of hours into the flight, and she swoons in the luxury and comfort that the plane itself represents. She only wishes that she could drink the liquor, not that she has had too many different ones, she just wants to try one, even get a little tipsy, or in general, drunk. The pilot calls from the cockpit that she should buckle up, and they will be landing soon. She does just that, and thinks to herself, man, this is the way to travel. They land at a VIP airstrip, and a car service is there to pick her up, as she expects. She turns on her cell phone, and it has little to no signal. She gets out of the plane, the car and driver are there waiting on the landing, smiling at her, and opening her door. Another security guy is in the back seat as well, he has plain clothes on, with his eyes out of the other window. She gets into the back seat of the car. The driver takes off, and starts heading to the highway out of the airport. She hears a text tone, and pulls out her phone. It is one from Zant. Frank is ready to pick you up from the plane, he should be there when you land. She texts back. He just picked me up, we'll be on the way to the university soon to speak to the professor. She hits send. Another reply nearly a minute after that. What do you mean? He is still waiting on the landing, his message says there is no plane yet. Another text from Tina. What are you meaning? I'm in a car right now, and am being driven. She is just about to hit send, when the security guy at the back of the car with her, draws attention to himself by clearing his throat. She looks over to him and sees a gun pointed at the phone. She hears him say,
"Don't hit that, or I'll..."
She twists quickly, to put her body between the gun and the phone, but the gun goes off, hitting the phone, and part of her palm, putting a bullet clean through. She feels a sharp pain at her back. This guy just stabbed her shoulder. Looking at her phone, it is mostly destroyed, but she still sees a cracked screen, and the send button for the text. She presses it as quickly as she can, and feels another sharp pain at her back, then feels nothing. She isn't able to move her arms, legs, or the rest of her body. She has felt this before. She has been staked, a feeling to which she sadly remembers. She sees the inside of the car door for some time, then her body is shifted in the car, and she sees the lower part of the door, unable to scream, move, or cry, which she wanted to do any of those things, or all at once. Some time passes, she isn't sure how much, but her eyes are open. Keeping a few kidnap movies in mind, she thinks of the time from the airport, and tried to count, but lost count after 230. It is quite a bit away from the airport, and her last known location. After some more time, she gets tired of counting over 200 again, and her eyes are closed. She hears nothing, sees nothing, and feels nothing. The most vulnerable a vampire can be. After quite some time, she is able to start moving again, but she doesn't dare. She is worried something is already happening. After a couple of seconds, she gets the feeling back into her body. She feels a cloth over her eyes. She is also feeling drowsy, low on blood, and feels punctures around her body. She hears some instructions from a woman.
Don't try to break free. Very strong vampires have tried. We'll stake you again if you get close. Don't try to bargain. We don't want your money. We will let you exist if you let us take your blood. You will be fed and allowed to move around on the table, but don't pull out the needles, or we will stake you again. This is just a better process if we let you move. It would take us forever to collect your blood if you stay staked. It would also take us a long time if we killed you, so don't make us. Yes, we know you are a vampire. Don't freak out about that. Just let us do this, and you can exist for now.
Tina asks,
"Are you going to let me talk?"
She gets the answer.
If you don't make us gag you.
Tina asks,
"You say you'll let me live. How can I believe you? You've taken me here. Who are you and you people?"
She answers callously.
Don't believe me. I don't care. We are ghouls, and we need your blood to survive, to kill all of you bastards that we can. Your kind cheats to get human blood, so we'll cheat to get yours. Now just to let you know, legs, shoulder, then throat.
Tina gasps.
"Huh? What?"
Get another callous answer.
Where we will be pulling your blood. Legs will be the most comfortable for you because you'll lean like this, head upwards and legs downwards, but shoulder or neck will puncture an artery and lean you backwards. And blood will slowly over a long time pool on the top of your body where we pull it. It will probably be harder to talk too, so if you keep up the yakety yak, we might just switch the position of it anyway.
"But I haven't cheated to get human blood. Everyone I've fed from has given it."
She didn't want to mention that there were a few exceptions. The answer in return starts with a laugh.
Ha! If that is at all true, then you will eventually. What, your rich benefactor telling all of her employees to open their throats for you? Yeah, we know a bit about you. We have you instead of your boss because she put you on that plane. Why were you on that plane? We know you were traveling for her.
"I am only going to a university professor, to pick his brain about something he might know. I don't know who I am seeing, not sure if he is like us, or knows someone who might know."
Well, that is a shame. We were hoping for someone fun to go after. Well, sorry, you are pretty new, but we need your blood to keep up our fight. You can ask your questions, and we'll probably keep you alive, but don't push your luck. We are in town for a known group, and we'll be taking them on soon. Don't bother asking where. We aren't in the same city in which you were expecting to land. Don't expect a rescue anytime soon.
"If you take too much of my blood, I might go nuts. I don't know how that part works yet. If you say you are trying to keep me alive, how will you know how much to take?"
Well, some do lie to us, and we take too much. You can pull on the ropes around your body. You aren't getting loose. Like I said, stronger vampires than you have tried. We know a bit about you from our network. You are pretty new.
Tina is worried. They must have some actual spies.
"I don't have much blood in me right now. I don't know how to tell you how much. I am mega low right now. I can feel my blood amount getting much lower because you are already taking some. You won't get much more unless you feed me some more.
You'll get more near sunrise, we'll fill you up a bit, then take more. Be useful to us and you won't die.
Tina feels a light pat on her cheek and loosens a tear to moisten the blindfold on her face. True to her word, shortly before sunrise, Tina can feel the difference now, in how drowsy she is. She has fed quite a bit of blood. It is cold and didn't taste right, like it isn't human blood. She knows that it tasted, well, she hadn't tried much other stuff before. It is filling though, but she feels it drain away, bit by bit over time. She does test her bonds, her arms are spread wide apart, they have a wide strap on them, and her legs are slightly apart as well, and bound in the same sort of material. She could barely move her body, but she tries to listen intently. She has nothing much to say to, or ask her captors that they might answer. Tina wakes the next night, still a blindfold over her eyes, but she hears a lot of activity. From what she hears, there was a strike on someone, and it didn't go well. Most of those within this group are alive, but 2 of them have wounds. She hears from one of the other voices, she doesn't recognize it.
Damn it, the whole plan went belly up. We are going to have to use so much of this blood we just took. What a waste.
A man exclaimed this, and Tina heard someone walking towards her, grab something, then walk away. Tina calls out, quietly to try not to surprise anyone.
Hey, I can help.
What?
Someone asks, as they sound like they are walking towards the back area.
I don't have time to talk to you, lady.
He pauses when he sees Tina turn her head in his direction. Tina says,
You don't need to use all that blood, I can help and you won't need to use so much.
One of her captors says,
No thanks, I get your plight, lady, and you'll want out, but we can't let you loose.
Fine then, waste the blood from me, and let them die, no skin off my back, you all are going to kill me anyway.
That same night, after plenty of screaming, then calming of those screams in the next room, a couple of people walked into the same room where Tina is being bled, and asked,
You said you can help, like how?
If you just take my blood, sure it might help, but I'm not a regular vampire lady, I can probably help heal. I could pull bullets out, and push bone, muscle, and skin back together. It is rare among us, but some of us can do that. If you set it up, I know you don't want me to see you, but lead me to someone, stand behind me, and I can help. Did you use a bunch of my blood to heal yourselves? I can probably do it with less. It is my blood, I'd rather have you not waste it.
What, are you some kind of doctor?
No, well sort of, a rare blood power I have, allows me to kind of heal humans. It is one I recently learned more about, and it could help you. If you let me live for a while, I won't try anything. If I do something bad, you can stake me or something. I understand you still want to take my blood, but I can help you heal much easier than just drinking it like you probably are, or just pouring it into a wound.
She doesn't hear anything for a few seconds, then she hears walking away from her table where she lay helpless. She turns her head to the other side, wondering if she might have planted that little seed.